Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go over the books that made me fall in love with reading again. I loved reading as a kid, but as I got into like my later teenage years and young adult years, I practically stopped. It just kind of fell flat for me. So I'm going to go over with you the books that got me back into it, that made me love it, and have made me a reader for the rest of my life. Starting off with probably one of my favorite books of all time is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. It had been a good couple of years since I had even really looked for books, purchased one, gone to a library, anything like that, until I found this one at Target. And I read this book every year during the fall. It's a great like Halloween spooky vibe. It still makes me emotional every single time I read it, but this book has stayed with me. I recommend this book to pretty much anyone. It is a YA novel, so I mean teenagers can read it, adults can read it. It's pretty easy. It's a quick read, it's fast-paced, it has a fascinating mystery, it has a little bit of humor too. So our story features around 15-year-old Samantha Mather, aka Sam. Now she and her stepmom are moving to Salem, to Sam's dad's old family home, after he mysteriously falls into a coma. Sam discovers that her ancestors actually played a key role in the witch trials, and that a specific ancestor named Cotton Mather actually sent some of the more famous victims to the gallows himself. While Sam is at school, she meets a group of teenagers who call themselves the Descendants. They are the literal descendants of the victims of the witch trials. They wear all black, they don't really associate with anyone, and everyone thinks they actually do practice witchcraft. Now, almost as soon as Sam gets into town, strange things starts happening at the school, in the town itself, to the descendants of the original witch trial victims, and so the finger is very quickly pointed at Sam because of who her ancestor is. Now, Sam is a tough New Yorker. She does not believe in witchcraft, the supernatural, any of that, but she soon must consider that anything is possible when she starts to interact with a literal ghost in her house, and the town starts turning against her, and she needs the Descendants' help. So somehow this group of very unlikely characters must try to find a way to work together so that history does not repeat itself. This is an amazing story about being an outsider, coming of age, trying to find friendship, not letting the past come back to haunt you in a quite literal sense, with a spooky yet fun supernatural twist that really anyone can enjoy. All right, and next up we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Foley? I don't know. I haven't loved all of Lucy Foley's work, but this one in particular is my absolute favorite. I recommend it to anybody. The Guest List follows a wedding on a remote island where someone is found dead immediately at the beginning of the book. Now, you don't know who the dead character is until probably close to the end. So not only are you trying to figure out who is the killer, but you're also trying to find out who the victim is. And you have your typical cast of characters. Sometimes you're odd people that you have in wedding parties. You have the old flame, you have kind of the weird best friend, you have the wedding venue workers. You have it all, and they're all just trapped together. Everyone has something to hide type of book, and things come out about every single character that will make you think that they could be the killer or even the victim too. I've heard people say that this book is slow and it's hard to get into. I didn't really think it was for me. The book does switch perspective per the character that they are talking about. So for me, that helps it not feel so slow. I really don't want to say much more about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but I absolutely love this book. I recommend it to anyone, even people who aren't really normally a fan of mystery. I think Lucy Foley just has a beautiful way of telling a story, and no one does a killer reveal like she does. I will say that. This next book needs no introduction. It is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read the whole series of this. That's 3 books, and then there are some spin-off books. I think there's like 2 or 3, but I haven't gotten to those yet. We are following Avery Grams. She is a teenager who is a borderline genius, but she is actually living out of her car. She is summoned to the will reading of a billionaire named Tobias Hawthorne. Now, she has no idea who he is. Why would she even be mentioned in his will or anything like that? But she travels to Texas where she meets his family, and oh boy, are rich people weird. In the will, it is stated that his family gets nothing and Avery gets everything, and then everything proceeds to just explode all around them. There are lawyers involved, the press are eating this up, his family is going feral, they cannot believe this is happening. And there is only really one condition to Avery getting everything of Tobias Hawthorne's, which is she has to live in this massive family compound for 1 year. So basically she has to survive his family for a year. So she has to pack up her whole life, move out to Texas, and try to adapt to this world of extreme wealth and luxury. Tobias has 4 grandsons, and they were presumed, well, mostly one was really presumed to inherit pretty much everything, or at least control all of the companies. And Avery does kind of stumble into a love triangle, but the real mystery is, why was Avery left everything? Is she somehow related or connected to these people? She doesn't know a whole lot about her own past. There are just a lot of unanswered questions. Now, she is highly intelligent. She was homeless, so is it possible that she was just a charity pick and Tobias didn't want to leave his fortune to his already wealthy family? Tobias was also a master at riddles and puzzles, and as she and the four grandsons are trying to find answers, they have to jump through the craziest hoops. I mean, this guy has puzzles like in the tiles in the desk. They're everywhere. This book is so much fun. It's hilarious. It's full of secrets and mystery, a little bit of romance if that's your thing, and every puzzle and riddle that they solve just makes you hungry for the next one. Okay, I actually don't have this book with me because I'm letting my sister borrow it, but I'll put a picture of it right here. It is Craven Manor by Darcy Coates. Daniel is our main character, and he is more than down on his luck. He just lost his job. His pretty crappy roommate is kicking him out, and he has no connections, prospects, no hope. He pretty much just became homeless. He gets a mysterious letter with a job offer to be a groundskeeper at this mansion that he has never heard of, never seen, didn't even know it existed, but like I said, he has no other option, so he accepts. Now, he gets no face-to-face contact with the owners, the employer that he now has. He is just given his tasks and his pay through these letters, and he's under the impression that no one actually lives in the house. Could be possible someone bought it and is wanting to fix it up later, but he kind of just keeps his head down, does his work, minds his own business. Now, he's able to stay in the groundskeeper cottage, so he now has employment and room and board, and like I said, he really just is trying not to notice the house, but lights are coming on, he's hearing strange things, and then finally he comes face to face with a ghost. What follows is just a wild supernatural tale of forgotten secrets, things long buried, and really just incredible storytelling. This is the first book that I read by Darcy Coates, and I love pretty much all of her work. She is the first supernatural, scary author that I read, and I love her. I enjoy all of her books. Don't get me wrong, this book is not that scary. If it was a movie, I would say it's PG-13, maybe even PG. And I still recommend this all the time to people who don't normally read supernatural or creepy books. While that is a part of the plot, it's not so heavy or creepy or anything like that. It's just really a brilliant story, and I just can't stop turning the pages when I read it. I've reread it a few times. Right, those are my books that got me out of my kind of years-long reading slump. If you guys have ever gone through a reading slump like me, where you kind of had to rediscover the love of reading, I would love to know what books, what authors even, or a series that got you out of it in the comments down below. But that's all I have for today, so keep on reading.